Good morning. This is a preview of what we'll be doing. We'll be doing physical science, and the first chapter is what is science? Well, science is a way of thinking about our world. Let's see if we can get to the next slide. It's lagging behind a bit. Okay. So, science is a way of thinking about and understanding our environment. We search for sense, we search for patterns, we try to find order in our surroundings, and we use tools and rules to make sense of everything around us. Here's an overview. We were going to look at objects and their properties. We're going to quantify those properties and use measurement systems to make records of those properties. We will find out about metric units and the metric system, metric prefixes, and understanding what we are getting from our measurements. Nature of science, we use a scientific method as a standard in our exploration of the world. We have explanations and investigations, and these give rise to laws and principles and models and theories. So let's talk about objects and properties. Objects are things that can be seen or touched. Properties are qualities or attributes characteristic of an object. Reference. These are things we can compare to each other. If we want to have a standard for blue, we might pick the sky, or if we don't have a standard for yellow, we might pick a lemon. So these are things that are familiar that we use as comparative objects. A problem. Language can be subjective and ambiguous. Fortunately, most sciences have very, very specific definitions for things. Okay? So when we quantify properties, we use measurement. We compare them to standards that have been agreed upon. We compare the referent to the property being described. We follow a procedure specifying how the comparison is done. And we count how many standard units describe the property under consideration. There are two main systems that we use in the United States. We use the English system, and there is the metric system. Now, many things that we do in our everyday life is used in the English system. We use miles per hour. We use gallons, quarts, and those are all based on the English system. However, the metric system, which was created to be more standard, is what scientists use. Here, there are 4 standard units that we use a lot: length, mass, and time. Not so much we use is charge, and we will see that when we study electricity. And many of the other properties we describe are derived from these. Okay, here's a table of our standard units. Length is the meter, mass is the kilogram, which is kind of ironic because it takes the prefix kilo. Usually the unit doesn't have the prefix on it, but for mass we use kilogram because grams are so very small. A gram is about what's contained in 2 paper clips, so we go with the kilogram as our standard unit. Time is a second. Electric current is the ampere. Temperature is Kelvin, and it's Kelvin, it's not degrees Kelvin. Amount of substance is mole, and luminous intensity is the candela. So the metric system simplifies the measurement process by having prefixes as powers of 10. Now, if you ever look at a ruler and look at a foot, it's 12 inches. And when you have to convert that to miles or yards, it's this whole mess. Yard is 3 feet. A mile is 5,280 feet. And, converting between them can be a task. With a metric system, it just goes in powers of 10. So if you have a meter and you divide it into 10 parts, it's a decimeter. If you divide a decimeter into 10 parts, it's a centimeter. You divide a centimeter into 10 parts, it's a millimeter. So it simplifies things greatly. And next time we will start looking at understanding measurements.